Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Colin here from Precision Optics. Today we've got clients on order who have ordered a lovely pair of really minimalist, quite a fine pair of Calvin Klein ladies specs. Nice bit of Calvin Klein etching on the sides there. Sprung sides as well, so give you a bit more comfort, a bit more play. Probably put some better quality nose pads on there, but yep, that's a really nice frame. Bit of a rose gold, this one comes in some different colours as well. So that's the frame. We're going to be putting in here a really nice pair of Varifocals, some really good quality lenses here. So these are going to have anti-reflective coatings on, UV protection, scratch resistant coating, and a really wide field of vision. Prescription in this is about a +2, so we'll get them cut and see how they look. Okay, I'm just going to apply these special pads onto the front of the lens. This basically helps the lens and the pad have better contact because these coatings are really slippy. So that's the right lens, the same on the left. There we go. And I'm going to mark these up as well. These go under a special digital camera. We need to make sure we can see the markings. So these different areas here, this shows us our distance, our intermediate, and our reading section. And this is what we basically measure when we measure you up for varifocals. Okay, put the right lens in. You can see now these markings need to be lined up in accordance to our client's measurements. This part's nearly done. We've just got to get a special sticky pad now, put it on this blocking pad and get this blocking pad stuck to the lens. That pad now goes onto here. The arm will come down, pick the pad up and stick it to the lens. That's the shape of the frame. That's what we're going to cut. Take the lens, pop it in there, and this is ready to go. It's going to set where we want the bevel. The lens is really nice and thin anyway, so we've got some good things going on here. They're going to come out really nice. So let's see what happens. Okay, so while that lens is cutting, we're going to take the screws out of this frame, just so the frame is ready to take the lenses so we can check the sizing. Pop the screw out of there. You shouldn't really undo them in your hand like this, because if you slip, you end up stabbing your hand. So now we've opened them screws up on both sides. We're ready to check, make sure the lens fits okay first time. Okay, so the lens is just finished on the machine. Let's open this up. There we go. And there is our lens. Dry that up, but before we do that, and take the pad off, go make sure this fits and everything properly in the frame. Because once you take the pad off, we can't put the lens back on the machine. At the moment, if I needed to take a little bit of the lens off, I can put it back on and take some off. Okay, give this lens a dry off. Sometimes the lens can come out a fraction big, very small amounts, but we then put it back on the machine like I said, just to take the size down a fraction. So yeah, you need to take a little bit of that off, but that's not too much of a big deal. Now I take a couple of seconds to take off on the machine, get the other lens cut as well, and we'll see how they all turn out. Okay, so we're now ready to take the pad off of here. You'll see that pad that we put on is still stuck. We've got one on the back as well, just to help with the grip. We normally keep these markings on the lenses just at this point, just so when we do our quality control check, we've still got our different reference points to measure from. Sometimes these can be rubbed off, or we can wipe them off, but then we'll pick up these markings again from little reference points that are laser etched into the lenses, and we'll hand draw these areas on ourselves. Little thing that I like to do when I'm putting the rim screws back in to secure the lenses, I always put a little dab of this onto the screw thread. That basically stops the screws from rattling out or coming loose, which can sometimes happen, and you don't obviously want a lens falling out when you're driving down the motorway or going for a walk somewhere. So this just stops them screws from coming out and keeps the lenses nice and secure. Right, so got my thread lock in, got my screw in position. Again, you should never really do this holding it in your hand. We'll just get the screw going first of all, and then we'll go and rest this on the side of the bench just to nip that up and get that closed up nicely. Okay, the other lens is off the machine. Just put some Loctite in here, so it all matches up nicely. Okay, so that a little wipe. Take the pad of this off. Out of the way. And now we can give that a bit of a clean up, and this will now be ready for making sure it's all nice and level and checking the prescription, and then we can get it all prepped ready for my client. So the next part of the process, I'm going to use this machine here, which is called a photometer or a lens meter, to measure the prescription and the power of the lenses to make sure they're accurate to my client's prescription. So let me just lift this up so you don't see my client's details. There are more steps to this, and there are other elements to checking the prescription, but I'm just going to show you this as a basic idea as to what's happening. So I'm just checking the long distance part here. That's fine, we'll print that out. And even though I know what the reading power is on here, because it's on the lens etchings, I'm still going to double check. That's fine. And that's fine as well. So they've worked out fine. Now we can get these all cleaned up and ready for my client to collect. So just finishing off cleaning these. Okay, really nice. Now I actually forgot to mention to you that these lenses here are actually one of our photochromic lenses, and this is going to go nice and dark in the sun, but just as a contrast, I think that looks like a really nice frame. So I'm going to get the special UV light and just make these go dark for you so you can see what they look like when they turn into sunglasses as well, because that will completely transform how they look. Right, so I've got a white backing so you can see what's going on here. So this is what they're going to be like at their clear stage. So it's actually the evening now and it's dark. It's the only light we've got, the lights in the lab. So that's the darkest really you'll get residual tint wise. And these are like an advanced photochromic, so these will go even darker outside, and they also go very dark in the car, because these don't just react to UV light, they react to sort of temperature and visible light as well. So that's them clear, and we're going to use this special UV torch to make them go dark basically. What I'll do is let me just cover one lens up, and then that'll give you an idea of how dark that will go. Now these are brand new, I haven't reacted these yet, and this is part of the quality control check that we would do, is we would check the quality of the lenses going dark. Now what you'll find as well is when they're brand new, they take a bit more time to react, but that's just a quick blast. So you can see there quite a nice contrast. So we're going to react to both of them, and we're going to see what they look like as a pair of sunglasses. I think they're going to look really cool. And what you'll find when you wear photochromic lenses, or if you've never had them before, when you have them and they're brand new, the more time you go in and out of sun, the quicker this whole process will happen in terms of them going light and dark. So it's quite common when you first have them, they can take a little bit of time just to go light and dark, but that will speed up the more that you use them. Sometimes different environments can change the speed of them. The actual material itself sometimes likes to be a little bit cooler to react better. Sometimes if the lenses are too hot, in some really hot countries, there are reports they don't work as well as when they're in a cooler climate. But everyone's very different. It all depends on your environment. Obviously here in the UK we haven't really ever got to worry about really hot weather. Even when it is hot, it's not hot enough to really have an effect on this. We're talking sort of in the desert heat. From when I've spoken to clients that have been on some very hot vacations. So yeah, we're not really going to get much darker than that, but I think that gives you a good idea of what they look like. So you can still see the green reflex on there, which is the anti-reflective coating. Obviously we haven't fully reacted it down here, but all in all, they're going to look like a really great pair of sunglasses. So really, my client with this order has got two for the price of one, or two built into one really, because we've got a pair of fully functional sunglasses that are going to work if you're out and about. You can read in them, you can obviously be driving in them. They're going to work much better in the car because these are the advanced ones, so you're going to be able to see the dashboard at that intermediate region. And you know, a great all-round pair of frames really. And then also when you come inside, they go clear. Of an evening you can watch TV, use your iPad, tablet, stuff like that. So yeah, that's them done. I'm going to pop them in here now. Thanks for watching. If there's any questions, pop them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. They look really cool, don't they, when they're in a case like that? So yeah, any questions you got, pop in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.